have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I just let spirit flow. But as I was listening to this, let me backtrack. So the vision of Elaine talking about the worms in the compost was what kind of struck me. And Spirit showed me these cute little worms, baby-looking worms with little googly eyes. And me personally, I hate worms, dislike worms. They're icky. But it really came to mind that let's take out our garbage. I was going to talk about so many different things: self-worth, gratitude, forgiveness. And I think I'm going to get to all of them today. But let's start with taking out the garbage, right? And who would have thought that little worms would help us take out the garbage, right? And I think it's giving over to Spirit and not putting into a box how my healing is going to take place. Okay, it has to take place in this form. I need to go to a therapist, or I need to do this. How about being open to Spirit? It could be someone's kind word on the street. It could be a beautiful song that we hear. It could be something that we see on television. So what Spirit is asking all of you is to be open to the miracle of healing in life, right? And what is true healing? Does that mean that you were sick in the first place? That you are unhealthy? That you are broken? That there's something wrong with you? No. No. True healing means that you've forgotten who you were as a child of God, as a spiritual being. You really forgot. You really got carried away with what maybe others would say, carried away with maybe how you were taught to believe things as a child. So many different things that got us off course, right? And now it's Spirit's gentle nudgings with the cute little worms to take out the garbage and remember who you truly were, or who you are, who you're created to be, right? There's so many things in this world that keep us off course. We have so many issues in life that we're dealing with on a personal level, on a society level, right? Everybody has their own belief systems. It's okay to believe what you believe. And it's okay for the other person to believe what they believe. And that's what's tough in life. Sometimes we hold on to our own beliefs as if they were the only things in this world that really mattered, right? And it's hard sometimes to see the other perspective. It's hard sometimes to allow that person that may be spewing things that you don't agree with or you don't endorse in life. How do you see them as a child of God? That's what Spirit always reminds me, because I'm human too. I have my own opinions on things too. And Spirit is always lovingly telling me, don't let those opinions get the best of you. Realize that every person is a child of God. Some have lost their way, and some have not. But it doesn't matter what they say, it matters their light within their own being. Can you see the light within each person's being? That's what's important, and that's what Spirit will have you do. Even more important is, can you see the light in your own being? And Elaine and I were talking about that earlier this morning, about seeing the truth of our being, seeing the truth of our nature. If I would ask you, how many of you here see your truth of who you are on a continuous, ongoing basis? I know I have to be reminded all the time that I'm not what this person says, what I'm not that person says, what I'm not what I believe myself to be. That I'm a spiritual being, that I am perfect, whole, and complete within myself. You are perfect. You were created perfect as a perfect being. With my clients that I work on and those who are suffering from low self-worth, I tell them God doesn't make junk. God makes masterpieces. You are a masterpiece. How will you live your life as that masterpiece in being? We forget that sometimes. The world is a place of light and dark. I wish it was all light. I wish it was all fairy tales. I wish it was all happiness, and I wish it was all joy. But I think that's why we're here, to look in the face of darkness and go, you're not going to get me, you're not going to sway me, you're not going to change the way I view life, that I'm going to choose the light each and every time. I think that's why we have duality here in this world. It's really hard sometimes to continuously look towards the light. And that's why I like the sunflower, because it tracks the sun. Constant, no matter what's going on around it, it tracks the sun. It looks at the light. It needs the light to live. We need the spiritual light to live. I had a friend who was a medium, and she decided that when her family and friends visited her, she did not want to be connected to spirit. She wanted to be like an earth girl, is what she said. She said, I want to leave the mediumship, I want to leave the messages alone, I just want to enjoy my family as an earthling person, right? She said within 24 hours of not having that connection to spirit, because they listened to her, right? She said she started getting angry, she started getting depressed, she started getting anxious. And she goes, okay, I got the message, guys, come back in. She says, I understand now that you're feeding me, that you're keeping me strong. And that song, Lean on Me, right? I just felt so much love and joy in realizing who I can lean on, who you can lean on. You know, sometimes you might call that spiritual being God, Jesus, Mary, Isis, Kuan Yin, any other being in any of the religious beliefs that we have. Right? You can name them any name, any ascended master, Saint Germain, Devi, Lakshmi in the Hindu religion. There's so many different religions. There's the Norse religions. There's Thor, he's not just a cartoon character, animated character, superhero. There's Odin. There's so many beings that help us, keep us strong. And that's what I'm grateful for, that I don't walk alone, right? No matter how heavy my burden is, no matter how heavy your burden is, you have some place to go to put that burden down. You have someone to talk to. You have someone to share what's in your heart. And when you share what's in your heart, you can go ahead and leave it behind. You can take that stuff and put it behind you and do what you're meant to do here on this earth plane. I firmly believe that each one of you were created for a reason. I see precious jewels. I see beautiful flowers. I see beautiful colors swirling around each one of you. Each one of you has such soul potential. You have a reason for being. You're here to touch so many lives. Even if it's one person that you touch in your life, you've made a difference. Some of us here are meant to touch many people's lives, and maybe some of us touch a handful of lives, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that you have spoken from your soul, you have lived up to your potential, and you've helped another human being find a way to live up to their potential. I'm all about helping. I'm all about leading others, helping them to see the beautiful light within them. Because it's not easy. If I were to tell you my life was all unicorn and fairy and rainbows, I'd be lying. It's not. There's a lot of different things in there that we have to deal with. I personally deal with PTSD. That's not easy sometimes. But because I know my powerful God, spirit guides, angels, ascended masters, I know I'm always in good hands. Isn't that Allstate, you're in good hands? This came through and told me that. I'm like, okay, thanks for being funny. No, but you have so much guidance. And that's what Spirit wants to remind you over and over and over. So let's get back to the burdens that we carry. Sometimes they throw us off course and we forget what we need to be doing in life. right? And your heart will tell you what you need to be doing. I have so many clients I work with that ask me, well, am I on my right path? How do I know I'm on my right path? I said, if you can think about what you're doing and you have a smile coming to your face and your heart opens up, then you're on the right path. Our body is a barometer, and it, right, you get sometimes goosebumps or someone says something and you feel chills, and your body lets you know through your spirit. It talks to you and lets you know, are you on the right path? Are you living the way that's best to your soul and spirit, to who you are as this beautiful being? I see joy in each one of your hearts. I see such beauty. And I hope, it is my most fervent hope, that each one of you see that beauty within yourselves. You know, there's so many conditions placed on the world. It's who we are, whether our gender, whether our sexual orientation, what race we come from, how much money we make. None of that matters. None of that matters. What matters most is, how are you living your life? And how are you helping others to live their life as well? And I have those in spirit really wanting to come through, the Ascended Masters and the angels. And if you don't mind, I'd spend a few minutes doing a trance communication. Is that okay with you guys? So I'm going to give over to them and just let them speak. Instead of listening and then, you know, I want them to speak through me because they have so much to tell you. Welcome. Welcome, my children. You might ask, who is speaking? We're a group collective consciousness. We are here to help you, to show you the way, to shine our truth on each one of you. We are here because we know being in the human form is not easy. We know that being in the human form is a testament to learning. It is a school of sorts. And some of you are not unscathed. Some of you are wounded, beyond repair. And we are here to tell each one of you that you can uplift yourself, that you can remove the wounds, that you can remove this narrow focus, that you can look at the bigger picture of life as to why you're here. And you have many lives to live, many times to learn, and it doesn't matter the speed of your learning. Take it in your own individual time. Don't compare yourself or your journey to others around you. Remember, your journey is your own. Your journey is special to yourself. It can take days, it can take weeks, it can take months or years. That doesn't matter. It doesn't take away from who you are as an individual. What matters most, which each one you know, is the direction that you're headed. Growth, self-discovery, reflection. That is what's important. It's important how you live your life, but it's also important as how you give to yourself, as how do you give to other people as well. Remember, be kind to yourself, be compassionate to yourself, be patient. We find that patience is a virtue. Patience is something that needs to be learned. We say again, your journey will take as long as necessary. But we ask you all to trust in us. Trust that we will guide you. Trust that we are guiding you every step of the way. As that beautiful song mentioned, lean on us. We're here for each one of you. As spiritualists, you realize connecting to the other realm gives you strength, gives you peace of mind, and we're here for each one of you. Above all, if you remember nothing that we've said, remember that you are loved. You are cherished. You are treasured. We hold you in the most highest of regards, and we hope that you hold yourself in that same esteem. We thank you for being here. We thank you for allowing us to be in your presence. We thank you for allowing us to come through to help you. You are loved more than you ever realize. Thank you very much.
Thank you.